This snake sounds more dangerous than he is, but he's going to have like a long cast. All this does, if you let it complete, is he's going to run up to you and poison you. It doesn't do that much damage. You can stun it if you feel like it, or interrupt it, but it's not that bad. So this guy does two things. Whirl of Rage is an untelegraphed circle, like this. And then he does another one. Smite of Rage is just a line AoE in front of him. Now, luckily, you can kind of cheat on this monster because both of his untelegraphs are close range things around him. So if you just run away from him every time, you'll avoid it. Okay, this is actually a pretty unique monster. So this guy, when I pull him, you're gonna see him move very slow. You don't want to go in melee range against that guy because he actually has massively powerful auto attacks. They won't quite one-shot you on a tank, but they will like hurt a lot. So anyway, after every few seconds, he's gonna start casting this very long tortoise stomp thing. This is actually not a very big AoE. You're gonna see it's super small. But the way this guy works is you're supposed to go in and damage him whenever he's casting it, right? So you just cut him like that. And then as soon as you see him start casting, that's your cue to go in and attack him, right? And then let's say I don't do a lot of damage. Let's say my damage is low, so there's no way I'm gonna kill it. Then you just run away before he stops it. This way you don't get attacked or die to this. And then you just throw it back in next time he does it. And then if you're a ranged DPS, well, congratulations, you don't have to do any of that. You just heal it. This guy, a bit scary. Not that bad, but a bit scary. So he does magnetic shock. If you're far away, it doesn't actually do anything. And then he has a follow-up called Plane Cracker, which is just a big circle. Like this. On telegraph, so you have to know what it does. But the combo he's gonna do on you is gonna pull you in. Most likely you're gonna be close to him, right? He's gonna pull you in, so you can't get hit by this, it's fine. Then when he pulls you in, he's gonna follow up with Plane Cracker, so you're supposed to move away after the pull in. This guy does a lot of things. He does Fireball, which is just like a telegraph. He does a really big circle on himself. But then whenever he's in Fireball mode, he just kind of like stands there like an idiot and shoots at you. So let me try and force him to come here. So he has a really big circle you just have to watch out for. Hopefully he shows it to us. Like this, tail smash. You have plenty of time to move out, you just have to know it's coming. This guy is a wombo combo. Front, back. Front, back. He does front and he does back. So you want to stay on his side. So this guy, he's gonna charge you. But the catch is he like charges back too. So he's gonna do a line AoE, it's a charge. And you're gonna see it charges back, forward, then he does it back. Like that. That's all he does. You just have to be out of the way. Now, a little side note, if he charges a wall like that, you're gonna see it pushes him a bit. Like you see how he move a little bit? So don't like... I wouldn't like pixel perfect this, right? Like I wouldn't really... Don't wait until the line AoE comes out and then stand exactly, you know, the next pixel, because he can get a little bit pushed whenever he's doing it. Like I think if there's no wall, he won't. But then if there's a wall, he's gonna get like a little shifted to the side. You may notice these stones. They're very important. He's gonna make the floor into sand, and then if I stand in the sand for 5 seconds, I'm dead. So I don't want to stand on the sand. I'm not gonna do DPS just so I can spend more. So this is the thing that starts the fight. So everything that's not a rock, if I go there, I'm dead in 5 seconds. So you only have a few seconds of movement. Now, whenever he jumps back, he's gonna do this move. What I like doing personally is I just like going near him. And then I just wait for it to blow up once. And then I just run in a circle like that, right? Like this. If you stand on the edge of this last rock, it's not gonna hit you on the last one. So that's the way I do it. Now, there's gonna be a bunch of rocks falling through the fight. They can fall on your rock, so just watch out for that. So now it's gonna show us the tornado. Tornado's simple. It's gonna count down to 3. When it's at 1, you just want to be in the sand. Like this. If you do this, then you don't get pushed. Just make sure you don't stand in the sand for too long. Now again, when he jumps, I like going on the rock. Near him. This one. Always this one. Preferably just close to him like this. And then you wait. You just go. And just run circle. Now the tornado is happening at the same time. That's the catch. So after this, you just do this. Like that. And yes, telegraphs can spawn on your rocks. You always have to be ready to move to a different rock. Now, keep in mind, you basically have only enough time to move between 2 rocks. So like, don't like move to a rock and then change your mind midway and then go to a different rock. Like, you have to come into a rock. Even if there's a telegraph falling on it, at least get hit by a telegraph and don't die, right? Commit to one rock and then move to it no matter what happens. So again, we just wait for 2. We move to the last rock. We wait for this to be at 1. 1, 2, we go. Boom, move back. Alright, very consistent. This is the whole fight. And yes, these rocks are random when they fall. It's, well, I don't know if it's random, but it's like there's a pattern to it. There's a not so consistent pattern to it, so just make sure you're ready to move if it falls on your own rock, right? Again, rock close. Be careful that when the AoEs are falling, sometimes there's one right on him like that, so don't be like too close. Also, when he hides, he becomes untargetable, but you can target him again when he starts jumping like that. Hide behind this, like that. See, I'm gonna let this hit me, just so you see. It doesn't do that much damage. Don't... If there's a rock on you, especially if you have a bark, and I recommend you do, don't like panic, just tank it. You're much more likely to die if you panic trying to avoid the rock and then you just die to the sand or something, right? So I'm just gonna tank that rock here, just to show you. Doesn't do that much damage. Now, if you're scared of like doing what I'm doing on the sand and going on the rock, what you can do is you can just kind of like move between 2 rocks while this is happening, like that. It's up to you, really. Me, I prefer doing it on the same rock, but you can just move between 2 rocks. Like I said, just don't panic if there's like a rock falling on you, right, during this. Okay, this bird is kind of dangerous. This guy has 3 abilities, but he has like very, like... He does them very inconsistently. He has a huge cone, a huge circle, and a huge donut. And he doesn't use them that often. Like, we'll see which one he does there. There, that's a huge cone. Painstorm. Now, I don't know if I can force him into using his other abilities. He has a big circle and a big donut, too. Both are telegraphed. All of them are telegraphed, so it's not like gonna catch you off guard. But see, that's the donut. Oh, so see, that's the point blank. As you see, it's pretty big. This monitor, out of combat, is gonna cast this smoldering scaled move. This makes it so that if you auto attack him, it's gonna reflect big damage to you. It doesn't reflect scaled. It doesn't reflect damage scaled to your own damage. It just reflects a flat rate if you auto attack him. Otherwise, he just does a cone. But I'll show you what I mean. I'll let him... He casts the scale move in combat too. I'm not sure why he does it out of combat. So if I auto attack him there, it will do damage to me. Do you see that? 20,000? 20,000. That's the auto attack reflect. This only triggers from the auto attack. This does not trigger from skills. However, if I were you, I would just respect it and not like attack with anything. But your auto attack is you have to turn it off. Like, that's the important part. And just to prove it to you, I'm gonna let him do it again. And then I'll do damage to him with a physical skill, but not actually auto-attack him, like that. So you see it's not doing damage to me there? That's because it's only auto-attack. I don't think we've pulled that yet. This is a... I'm gonna go on my way to pull him. That's a big line AoE monster. He does Fireball too, apparently, but the danger about that guy is a big line AoE, which I don't remember if it's telegraphed, but it's big. So let me just wait until he does it. I'm pretty sure it's telegraphed. I know he has a line AoE. He's trolling. He has a line AoE. I want to show you this because it's the kind of ability that if you don't know it's coming, you could like block the whole way with it. Even though it's a telegraph. You see? So like you gotta be careful about this. Okay, so this guy does two things. He does a charge, which will always be followed up by a donut or a circle if you want to get away from. The charge is pretty fast when you pull him. Careful. He's gonna move with it like this. Then he's gonna do donut or get away. Side tail is away. It's pretty easy to remember. It's a side. It's reaping around him, right? That's how I remember it. And then he does the charge. He does it very fast. There's not a big cooldown. There's gonna do the same thing. There, the side again. Gonna get away. Master of 11, that's a donut. I think it's pretty easy to remember because it's, you know, the way I remember it, it sounds like a big deal. It's probably a donut. So he was gonna pull me in, but careful, he might do the cone first. You don't know which one's coming out first. So be careful. When he pulls me in, you're gonna hear the you know? So if you have the knockback immunity, you just can go with the sound too. But either if you have it from like arm's length, inner release, or the debuff, doesn't matter. The sound is the big giveaway. But either way, you just want to move away when he does it. Okay, this is a pretty dangerous patrol. He's gonna do a bait cast. It's a 270-degree thing in front of him. So this, when he does this, you have to go behind. You're gonna see this is very big. Yes, like this. That's all he does. That's all you're gonna remember. This is definitely a gotcha monster. You just have to know what he's gonna do. This is probably the actual worst monster on this set. So, the whole line of sight thing I was talking about, that is a great time to do it because if you can't interrupt or stun that guy, I would honestly never deal with this mechanic. It's horrible. I would just hide. And then he's gonna do either a cone or a circle. Trounce is the cone, circle is the other one. And then that's how I would do this guy. Now, if you have a stun or an interrupt, even though I said you shouldn't plan around using it, I think you should on this guy. So when he does it again, you can just stun, and then you don't have to deal with it. He's always gonna do the spin or the trounce. This is the spin. There's always a follow-up after. But the reason I'm saying you should not deal with this, and I'm gonna show you, is because if you actually deal with this mechanic, here's what happens. This puts the little finger on your head. That's a misdirection. I don't have to tell you that this is really hard to like deal with. So if I actually let this hit me, and it's a pretty big wrench, so you're not gonna run away from it. This puts this on you. I don't have to tell you that this isn't really great, right? Basically, you'll have this on your head, and you have to deal with a cone or a circle. Also, I know there's gonna be questions about this. This guy looks like he's gonna do so many mechanics, right? But he doesn't do anything. He actually has zero mechanics. He just attacks you and does nothing else. Okay, so that's generally the boss that gets people the most trouble. Now, I will say, this is a day 5, day 4 guide. So the way I do this mechanic is definitely not like optimal. I'm sure there's static patterns. I'm sure there's gonna be like better ways to deal with it. I mean, 14 is a game where fights are basically just static patterns, and you know, like, oh, this style's safe. Anyway, let's do it. So he does a very commonly, he does a move called Spine Shot. This is a front and back. It's both. Just a cone, just be out. Now, first mechanic, you're gonna see it's gonna put 4 tiles of cacti. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. Now, the way this works for the whole fight is whenever there's a small cacti, it's gonna explode 1 tile. And then whenever there's a big cacti, it's gonna explode 9 tiles, like the 9 tiles around it. The whole fight is based around this idea. So you just have to remember this. And then with this information, we're gonna go over the fight more in depth. Now I'll just show you the second mechanic, what it looks like. So yeah, you get a nice view of it. So you're gonna summon a bunch of cacti again, small ones, big ones. And then they're all gonna move according to the cast name. So this time it's 1 stop, right? That means it's gonna move once. Everything moves once. So everything moves once in the direction that he's saying. So 1 movement, and then everything blows up. Right after this, make sure this doesn't catch you off guard. Right after this, he does this. It's the move we've seen, except he spams it, and he spams it pretty fast. So just make sure you're running in circle. Okay, now that we know the cacti works, I'm gonna like explain how I solved this personally. Now this one is the one I struggle the most with. I just look at which one is the first lane, and then I see it as the lane. That's the lane I'm gonna move into, right? So I just get ready to move into it as soon as it blows up, right? So I know this will explode these 3 squares. Then I move where another big one won't hit, right? So I basically just look at the big cacti. Once I recognize the first big cacti that's gonna blow up, it's kind of like my safe spot in my head, right? And then once I move into the safe spot, I just look at the other lane big cacti, because that's the only one that could possibly hit me, and then I just do it. Now for this one, I look at the middle, I look at this guy, I look how many times he's gonna move. 2, so I know these 9 squares are not safe. That means I only have to adjust for the other ones, right? So then if I know if he's there, these 9 tails are not safe. I know this one, then 2, so this one's not gonna blow up, so then I know this spot's safe, right? And then you gotta make sure you're in, because right after this, it's this. Pop sprint if you need to, but you should have enough time. Now, of course, that's not gonna be that simple when you're doing it, because you have to do your rotation. Though honestly, you could just let Bart do the damage. He's doing pretty good. If you need to focus on the mechanic and you got Bart up, I mean, just do it with Bart. Again, I'm gonna show it one last time. First lane, okay, so this one's gonna explode. Okay, so this one is pretty easy, right? I just have to wait there. This is gonna make these 9 squares unsafe. Then I'm gonna run in all the way to the top of this lane. Oh, never mind, I fucked it up. Okay, well, I told you this mechanic was my least good one, but yes, as you can see, it doesn't kill you as long as you just don't run into like a million things. And on tank, with still Bart, it's very unlikely you're gonna die to the mechanics there. But yes, I still fuck up this first one way more than I fuck up this second one. And this second one, again, I look at this guy, I look where he moves, he makes these squares unsafe, then I just look at the rest, and then I know this is safe. Because there, these 9, there, these 9, and then this one, he makes these 9s unsafe. You would die if you, like, ran in all the shit, right? Like, if I'm standing there, you would definitely die on the DPS, but not on a tank. Like I said, I think this boss in the future, or the very near future, or maybe already, he probably has static patterns and like static positions for every pattern. So like you might have like a quote-unquote brain dead strat out for this, but I'm just explaining the way I do it. As you see, it's not perfect. This first one gives me trouble still. I just try to look at the first cacti exploding, and then I adjust from it. Like for example, this would be up there, because I know this will explode, and then there's no big cacti, so I can just stand there. But then, if you're gonna get hit by something, try and get hit by only one thing. And how do you try and only get by one thing? It's not that hard. You just like where the bait cacti are, and you just don't go near them, right? If you're nowhere near the bait cacti, you can only get it by one thing.